What's up, my boys? Old AC gonna be retiring at the end of 2024. Adam Cianciarulo, or as James Stewart would call him, Adam Cinderella? Adam Cinderella? I don't even know how to say it, bro. Oh, man. So, this is the word on the street, talk on the town. I don't know if it's 1,000% gonna happen, just like with anything, but this was just mentioned on the PulpMX show like a few days ago. Everybody's been talking about it. It definitely went into the mainstream motocross news. You know, Adam Cianciarulo retiring at the end of 2024. And honestly, I think everybody and their grandmother was sort of expecting something like this to happen here pretty soon. Isn't it crazy how you can just... It's like you can start to see it in their eyes, man. You could start to see it in Adam Cianciarulo's eyes that he was just done. I mean, I've been able to notice that for like the past 2 or 3 years. I'm kind of surprised that he's even still going at this point, but especially, I think it was last year when Adam Cianciarulo, let me sound like James Stewart, Adam Cinderella. When Adam Cianciarulo got like a podium in a race, I think it was last year. This is when I knew that it was really over with. When just from him getting a podium, he said in the interview that like, man, I just didn't even know if I was ever going to be back here again. This is crazy. I didn't think I'd ever be back here again. I just didn't, you know, something along those sort of lines. That's when I knew right there that he was pretty much on his way out, bro. I mean, when you're saying stuff like that just for a podium, and it was like late in the season, you know, I think it was like at the end of Supercross last year or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that's when I knew for sure. Obviously, with the multitude, I mean, you know, 420 different injuries that Adam has had over the years, but especially the one that he had that really jacked up his arm and nerve damage or whatever, where he can't hang on to the bike. That was kind of the big one. And I can't even remember exactly when that one happened, but if you think back, you know, Adam did get second place in his first ever 450 Supercross main event. He got second place, man. He damn near won that shit. So something sort of happened there between when Adam Cianciarulo first got into the 450 class, and then what we've kind of seen from him over the last 2 or 3 years, where it's just, you know, he can go pretty fast for a few laps, but he ain't really been in that top 5 very much. He certainly ain't been in that podium range, you know, just a different kind of guy on the bike, right? But at this point, who knows, man? I really want to see Adam Cianciarulo in the booth, you know, talking. I think he would be really good at that. A lot of people have mentioned that. Even he has sort of talked about that a little bit. I think that would be an awesome, awesome avenue for AC to try to go down. But yeah, I'm sure Adams had to go through a lot of tough times, a lot of just like realizations of like, you know, them boys think that them having like a big time career in motocross is going to be like their whole life, you know. That is their whole life, all the way up through the ranks. And then when they get to the point where they realize their body can't even physically do it, damn, man, I'm sure that's got to be a real tough hit. You know, Austin Fortner's going through that same thing where he's having to kind of figure out if he even wants to do the shit anymore. It's crazy to think about. It's insane. It's unfortunate. It's one of those weird things, man. I mean, if you know Adam Cianciarulo's career from the beginning, it's like he was pretty much already being labeled like the next MC or the next RC, you know, with AC. He was pretty much looked at that kind of kid probably from the time he was like 6 years old and up, especially once he started racking off all those Loretta Lynn's championships. And then he's probably one of the most famous, like 85cc on that Kawasaki. Everybody can remember Supermini Adam going to Villapoto's house and looking like he was literally already 250 pro level on a Supermini, you know, that sort of a thing. He is certainly the definition of a lot of people sort of crowned him before he actually earned it. A lot of people kind of had that, you know, hyped him up to be, and he probably was that. I mean, he did win his first 250 Supercross race ever, so I mean, he had it. Like, the hype was real with Adam Cianciarulo. I mean, especially at the beginning, like, he had all the speed, all the potential, all the, you know, everything about it, all the way up through the amateur class, and even when he first got into the 250 class, he had all of that. So, a lot of that hype was super, you know, actually quite accurate and realistic to what was going on, but the problem with that is it's like, you know, there's a lot more to it than just if you have the speed or if you look like the fastest kid on a Supermini or a 250, or if you even go out there and win your first 250 main event ever. You know, there's just a lot more to it than that. And even when Adam just spoke on one of his interviews at the recent Daytona, I know that he was talking about, like, man, you know, I've always had the speed. Like, that ain't never been the problem. Like, I've always had that. But then he kind of went into, you know, the arm injuries and stuff holding him back. But it's like, you know, we all need to understand, and especially some of these up-and-coming riders, some of these real hyped-up riders, you know, there is a certain element to it of you've got to keep your body healthy enough through your career for you to even reach your maximum potential. I feel like we get so caught up on the speed element of it, and do you look like you're the fastest guy out there? What do you look like at the practice track? You know, but like, if you want to have an actual successful, you know, Ricky Carmichael or what, not even necessarily that kind of a career, but just like a Eli Tomac or a even just like a Ken Roczen kind of career, or any of those guys that have won 450 championships, you know, you've got to keep your body healthy enough to a certain extent to even give yourself that opportunity, to even, for that to even be remotely a possibility. No matter how fast you are, no matter how many Loretta Lynn's championships you won, no matter how much hype you have, all it takes is going out there and crashing one time, and it can change all of that. I mean, I definitely think it's just getting to that point where he's either going to just lose his ride on, you know, Monster Energy Kawasaki just from the sheer results that he's getting. I mean, it's just, you know, I love AC, but like, you're not going to be able to stay on a factory 450 team for that long with getting the results that he's getting. You're just not going to be able to do it, man. That's not how it works. You know, I think AC was given a lot of gifts in the sense of the connections that he made over there at Pro Circuit Cowie, being able to stay on that team, on the 250 team for so long, even though having all the injuries and all the problems and all the bad seasons, similar to Austin Forkner. You know, I feel like if they didn't have the amateur careers that they had, the such legendary amateur careers, they wouldn't have even gotten that much of a chance on a 250 factory ride as they did. You know, I know that he did have that one championship where I think he finished second in points to, that was in like 2020 when all the crazy shit was going on, to Zach Osborne in that outdoor title that was weird and like 3 rounds less than normal, and 3 of them were at Loretta Lynn's, so that was kind of bizarre. It wasn't like a normal Pro Motocross Championship, definitely an asterisk Pro Motocross Championship there. So, you know, yeah, AC did finish second in points of that one. It is kind of funny because they went to Loretta's, you know, obviously Adam being the Loretta Lynn's boy, quite literally. It's funny how he ends up finishing second in that particular Pro Motocross Championship where they went there 3 times For a third of the championship, they went to Loretta's. Just kind of funny to me. But either way, yeah, man, it's going to be sad not seeing AC out there. It is a little sad thinking about how his career went. You know, barely lost that 250 Supercross championship. Crashed at Vegas, I think it was. But then he did go out there and back it up by winning that 250 Outdoor Championship. That was really cool to see. At least he did get one championship on pro circuit. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's all we can really look back on for Adam Cianciarulo's career, you know?